Hello everyone, welcome to So This Happened. Here we take you through stories that made a buzz recently. My name is Margaret Osazua. Once again, you're welcome to the show. Now guys, I believe many of you would agree, and not just silently, but with real frustration, that addressing the deadly clashes between herders and farmers in Nigeria is long overdue. Now, for years, these conflicts have claimed lives, destroyed farmland, deepened ethnic tension, and left countless families mourning loved ones or rebuilding from scratch. So when I say it has been such an exhausting phase, it has indeed been. So when I saw the report that 11 states are now taking bold steps towards establishing cattle ranches, I thought, finally, we are getting somewhere. Now, states like Lagos, Plateau, Ondo, Zamfara, Anambra, and others are now committing land, drafting policies, and even laying infrastructure to transition from open grazing to ranching. A system, of course, that many experts and citizens believe is Nigeria's only viable path forward. Some states are already running pilot projects, others are pledging to collaborate with the federal government. But of course, let's not pretend this is a smooth, controversy-free ride. The conversation is heated, of course nuanced, and in some cases, outright resistant. Take Lagos State, for example. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture made it clear that the state has been working on its ranching system for years, quietly building infrastructure and banning open grazing by law. And Lagosians themselves seem aligned on this. Some say ranching is the only way forward in a state as busy and commercial as Lagos. Others insist that if you must raise cattle, then buy your own land, not roam on someone else's farm or across highways. In Anambra, the situation is both progressive and tense. Governor Soludo appears ready to align with the federal government, especially given that he's on Tinubu's economic team. The state already has an anti-open grazing law, but some locals are outright skeptical. They question why state land should be donated for what they describe as a private business, especially one historically linked with violent conflict. Now, we know ranching is better, but let the owners of the cows pay for their own land. Why must the state be involved? A resident argued. Ondo State is a different case entirely, not aligned with the federal ranching agenda per se, but not idle either. With two functioning ranches already in place, one owned by the state and one by Odwa Investment, the government says it hasn't been approached for land and hasn't received any funds, but remains open to private investors. In Zamfara, one of the states was hit by the farmer herder crisis. The support for ranching is strong. The governor there believes that this move could help ease tensions with neighboring Benue, which is one of the epicenters of these clashes. Now, speaking of Benue, the atmosphere is still heavy. Over 200 people were killed in a single attack in Yewata just last week, an atrocity President Tinubu has linked to land grabbing. So, while Benue has long championed anti-open grazing laws, there is deep-rooted suspicion about surrendering land to a federal initiative. Now, no one here is talking about ranching right now. We have buried too many of our people, a teacher in the state said. In Gombe, the federal government announced a whopping 60 billion naira grant to develop an agro-livestock hub, and in states like Kwara, where a blend of open grazing and ranching is being tested, farmers are saying ranching is simply more sustainable. Now, the Oyo state government has also taken enforcement seriously, and down in Bayelsa, where open grazing is banned and violators are arrested, the state has set aside land for grazing, though it's still unclear if this will evolve into a ranching system. And now in Imo State, it's also seeing tension as the PDP outrightly rejected the ranching plan, accusing the federal government of meddling in private business. Now, this isn't just about cows or grass or fences. For me, I think it's about safety. It's about land rights, community trust, and sustainable economic practices. It's about moving past a system that no longer works in a rapidly modernizing nation. But if Nigeria is truly ready for ranching, then the effort must be coordinated, transparent, inclusive, and free of political manipulation. Emphasis on political manipulation. People need to feel seen, consulted, and protected, because while many still view ranching as a private business, the consequences of doing nothing or doing it wrong are painfully public.